Ladies, good afternoon. Welcome to the 2026 Ladies Golf Leagues here at Lyman Orchards. My name is John Dipolina. For those of you who might not know me, I'm the director of golf here, and I'd like to thank all of you for joining us on this call. This is an informational call. I try to get out as much information about the league as possible and obviously answer any questions you have. There's a few ways to have questions. Number one, if you wanted to just simply speak up and ask a question, please do so. Feel free to kind of interrupt by raising your hand. As long as I can see that hand raised, I should be able to answer that directly if I can. If you don't want to speak up, feel free to use the chat board. The chat board will be answered at the end. I can't really see the chat board while I'm sharing my screen, so you can utilize that, and I'll try to answer those questions one by one at the end. And we're going to get started right out of the gate here. I can't believe we're doing this on a 75-degree day in March, but we're going to do it. Hopefully next week is half as nice. But we'll get started. I'm going to share my screen at this time. Just get that going.
Oh, pretty.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So, Lyman Orchard Ladies Golf League 2026. Opening slide there. Welcome. This is the agenda that we will talk about today. We're going to start off by talking about myself, John Dipolina, PGA member. I've been running the league for 9 years now. We've grown it into basically a Tuesday only league into what it is today. An amazing league that fills up by the end of January, and that's all thanks to you ladies who keep coming back. We must be doing something a little bit right here, so I do appreciate that. It's grown to the fact that we have now offered a Monday league, a separate Monday league, and that league has over 75 ladies in it as well. So we are growing fast here, but we did put a cap on your league just like we did the past 2 years to make sure that we can provide enough tee times going forward. What we're going to talk about today is social versus competitive divisions, what they are, and if you needed to move from a social to competitive or competitive to social, that's not a problem. That can be done with a simple email. Fees and season pass, we'll talk about that. The golf rules and helpful hints along the way. We're going to talk about etiquette, care for the course. We're going to talk about, I guess we'll talk a lot about rules because I wrote it twice. We're going to talk about the way we score, which is not a traditional way of scoring. It's called a stable for gross and net scoring system. We're talking about max score and Apple versus Jones, prizes that are awarded weekly, rules to making tee times, how to sign up weekly via Golf Genius, which is can be a little bit tricky, and Team Lyman introduction. We have a couple new staff members here that you'll be introduced to. And we have question and answers at the very end. So let's get started here. All right. Let's talk about the social league. So the social league is a weekly net scoring contest with closest to the pin prizes every single week. Official USGA GIN handicap is issued. Everyone will have one. Everyone in the league should have gotten an email basically saying you're part of the league again and here's your GIN number, or maybe you just automatically were re-upped, but you have a GIN number. What is that? A GIN number is basically a way to track how you're doing. Are you getting better? Are you getting worse? Are you staying the same? And then you take that GIN number and you utilize it at other clubs when you go and play other clubs. If you were to have fortunate enough to play in a member guest at another club, they will need that number and you have access to it. If you have any questions about the GIN handicapping system, feel free to email me, but it's basically a way for us to track and for you to track if you're improving, if you're not improving, and to make a level playing field for the net prizes. Weekly discounts on greens fees. Our greens fees are $21 to play, but for league it's $17. So there's a $4 discount if you play on league day, if you're in the league. It's a significant discount, but it's basically a reward for being loyal to us all year round. We'll have a ladies' league closing day banquet. There is a date that I put on the calendar. There's a little wiggle room to it in case some of our big outings get rained out, but more than likely we'll be able to hold to that date in middle of October. We will follow all the USGA rules and local rules. Now, I don't expect all of you to know every single rule, but there are some basic rules that we will expect the ladies who are competing in competitive league and for competing in social league prizes to understand. I'll talk more about that later. We do expect you to play in a proper pace. I take a deeper dive into that a little bit later as well. An hour and 45 minutes at the Apple 9 Par 29 course. And then either the Jones player, front or back, regardless, we expect 2 hours and 15 minutes, no longer than that. Can social league players play in the competitive league? They can. Basically, if you have a friend who's in the competitive league, you can still make a tee time with them. They're scored differently on an individual basis. So if you have a good friend who's in the other league, it's okay. You can play with them. And can you still sign up and play the Jones player course? You can. So on, let's say you're in the social league, but you're like, it's a beautiful day on Wednesday. I want to try that Jones front nine out. You can sign up and play. You will not be you won't be able to win any prize money, but you can play in that league. You just have to sign up the same exact way that you would sign up for Apple. Competitive league, we pay out weekly gross and net prizes. Make sure they're all on mute. I'm getting a big echo. I can't tell who that is. Not sure who it was, but it's all done. Thank you. Uh, we pay out gross and net prizes. So the difference between social league and competitive league is gross means my score. I don't have any handicap built into that. Net means I have handicap built in. For example, I play to a two. My handicap is a two. If I were to play a new lady to the league, Catherine, for instance, who I know is new to the league, she's probably a 36 handicap. I would beat her every time in gross, but in net, she has a chance to beat me if she just plays better than her average score and I play the same or worse than my average score, she would beat me in net. That's why the handicap system is so brilliant. It allows all types of players to compete against each other. It's really the only sport that allows for it. Competitive league also gets a weekly discount on greens fees. Uh, there's a league rate of $35. I believe if you're a season pass holder at the Apple 9, you get a small discount on that as well. Ladies closing day banquet, I mentioned that earlier. I mentioned how you can play with social league ladies and the same rules and pace of play is expected from the competitive league. Here's a little deeper dive into pace of play. Uh, Whether you're in the Monday, the Tuesday AM, the Tuesday PM, or the Thursday league, they're all at Apple. It's an hour and 45 minutes. These are the tee times we have blocked for you. You have to play in those time slots. I've had a lot of ladies in the past say, hey, can I play at 1 p.m.? That's not during ladies league time. So we are going to frown on that. If I had to say yes to that 4 or 5 times a week, it wouldn't make for a good league. What I do promise is if all those times from 9, 10 to 10 a.m. are filling up, I will add more times. It'll be on the back end there on Monday, for instance, 10:10, 10:20, and I'll certainly be adding more times on the back end in the afternoons once the sun stays, higher in the sky for longer. You'll see that Tuesday nights and Thursday nights at Apple are every 9 minutes, and Tuesday morning is also every 9 minutes here. The competition for both social and competitive divisions here at Apple are from the green apples, default from the green apples. If you want to play the yellow or the orange on a regular basis, you will need to let me know ahead of time. I'll go into the back end and I'll make sure that you're getting scored from the more difficult set of tees, and then we'll expect you to play from those tees each week. Jones and player courses. A 2 hour and 15 minute maximum. Why is it more? Because it's par 36 versus par 29. It's obviously a more challenging golf course than the Apple 9 with elevation changes and the green structures are just a little more tricky. So we allow for an extra 30 minutes. Wednesday AM, you'll be teeing off between 9:39 and 11 a.m. Wednesday PM, we'll start off at 3:30. It says through 5:09, but keep in mind that's going to keep growing and growing and growing as we get closer to end of June, beginning of July, and then it'll shorten again, obviously, as we get closer to the fall. You may play the gold tees, but again, you should let me know that you're playing the gold tees, or else you're going to get ranked from the greens, and your score is not going to be as good for the net side of things. Uh, Social division participants, again, They can play in the league. On Wednesdays, they're just not going to be scored. They can't win any money. And we might have split payouts. Occasionally, the Wednesday AM ladies will play front of Jones, and the Wednesday PM ladies will play the front of player. That'll split, and you'll have a chance to win prize money uh, based on the nine you play. I think it's unfair if I put all the ladies all together in one pot there. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it's worked out pretty well. All right, let's talk about the fees that are going to be here at the Apple 9 Inn on Jones Player. $17 for a nine-hole round of golf here. During the week, it's 21 on a regular basis, but for league, it's 17. $6 for the push cart, $11 for a riding cart. The carts, they're 2 years. This is the second year of them. They're not really new, but they're still really new. Uh, let's see here. Greens fees, season pass, Apple 9. So basically, it's greens fees. We promise through the end of October. It generally is through the end of November. We just don't promise that just in case we get a freak storm like we did in, I think it was 2011. Uh, Single is $6.99. What does that encompass? All your greens fees all year, regardless if you play in ladies league, couples league, you want to play with your friends on Saturday morning, you wouldn't have to come out of pocket. Everything comes, that $6.99 is all encompassing. Couples. So couples means two people that live in the same household. Spouse, as long as they live in the same household. We can't have two ladies from the same league or good friends with the couples pass. That would defeat the purpose of that. So it has to be the same household. And if you're thinking about like, well, how do I get my money's worth on that? If you play at least a time, 1.5 times a week, that's the break even point. So if you're planning on playing once every Tuesday morning, once a week, you should just pay weekly. It's the better price point. But if you play 2, 3 times a week here at the Apple 9, which a lot of you do, and I've seen a lot of ladies roll in and buy the season pass already this year, that's when you start to save a little bit of money. Greens fees on the Jones and Player, they're 35 for nine-hole round. It includes the riding cart. If you choose to not ride, it's still 35. There is a 10% discount if you're a season pass holder on the Apple 9. It will be docked down to 31.50. Etiquette. I get a lot of questions about etiquette, newer players specifically, whether it's new players to the league or a lot of our ladies who participate in our Golf for Women programming. Uh, they have great questions. And some of the things the more experienced golfers like myself, we take for granted. And I'm going to challenge all of you ladies to not take it for granted. But this first call is for the newer ladies. Don't be afraid to ask for assistance and do so immediately, right on the first tee. Uh, I'm going to invite someone to speak. I don't know if she's on the call. Her name is Catherine. She's one of my personal students. We work together at least once every 2 weeks. And she was new to the league in 2025. And she was very nervous about joining the league for all the same reasons that maybe you were nervous to join the league. I said to her, ask the ladies right on the first tee, tell them, say, I'm new. I know that you've probably played a long time. Please help me with my etiquette. Catherine, are you on the call?
I am.
All right.
And I would definitely like to just add that I have played with a variety of ladies last season as a new player. And I invited them at the very beginning of each game to please share any thoughts, comments, anything about etiquette. And I was never made to feel, embarrassed or uncomfortable about comments. And I truly appreciated it so that I wasn't holding up the game or doing anything inappropriately. So I would encourage anyone that isn't sure to just go ahead and ask their lady partners that they're playing with. I think that you will find it to be very helpful and make the game more pleasurable for everyone.
Catherine, thank you. And I still remember, leading up to league last year, you were super nervous about who you're going to be playing with and what do I say on the first tee? And I'm like, well, we'll set you up with some nice ladies right out of the gate, but don't be afraid to ask. And all the new players out there, feel free to ask. This is a very communal and friendly league, and we all want to play faster, and generally etiquette gets everybody to play a little faster. So thank you, Catherine, for telling us your little story there. I appreciate it. Uh, On to our returning players. don't be afraid to give assistance, especially after someone says to you on the first tee, like Catherine did. I've never played in a league before. Please introduce yourself on that first tee. Encourage ready golf. Remind players, this is a big one because a lot of people just don't know where to leave their push cart or their gas cart. We see it a lot with our juniors leaving the push cart everywhere. We want to move it to the back of a green. We don't want to move it, keep it in the front of the green because that means after the hole is done, you got to walk back to the front of the green, retrieve it, and walk to the back. It's actually a waste of 30 seconds. If you multiply that by everybody on the course, it leads to a longer round of golf. So moving your gas cart or your push cart to proper areas. Remind players to conduct the scoring at the next tee box, not on the green. Can't tell you how many times I see a football huddle right around the flag where everybody's counting their score. It should be done on the walk or on the next tee box. And then kindly remind players to rake those bunkers, fix ball marks, and replace divots. I'll talk a lot more about that part as we go along, but this is what my challenge to returning players is. We get a lot of, constructive criticism via email to me saying, uh, people don't know what they're doing out there. And I understand that because we have a lot of new players, but we can all speak up as a team and be friendly about it and try to encourage everyone to, you know, learn how to play golf a little bit better than we did in the past. Talked about the pace of play already. How do you have great pace of play? Be ready to hit the ball. Our juniors, I tell them the same thing. When you get on that tee box, ball, tee, club is in hand. Worst thing is when it's your turn to hit and someone's like, "Oh, I don't have a ball." Then I look at the juniors and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? We're playing golf here. How do you not have a ball in your pocket or in your hand?" That just wastes time, especially if you have to go back to the golf cart if you're riding. Play ready golf on the golf course. So many of you don't know what ready golf is. Ready golf means you go to your ball, and as long as it's safely, you can go to your golf ball. Just go and hit. You don't really have to wait for the person that's 40 yards away from you because they're 5 yards farther away. If you're ready to go, you hit. This will really speed up the pace of play. Obviously, if it's not safe to do so, you wouldn't do so, but most of the times it can be safe to do so, especially when we're chipping, hitting a little pitch shot. We wouldn't do so when we're hitting tee shots. If you're driving in a cart, go to your ball, excuse me, go to your ball and drop the player off, meaning don't hang out. So I usually, whenever I'm riding, whoever hits the ball farther will take the cart to their ball, and whoever hits the ball shorter, you just drop them off, and then you just kind of walk to each other's spot after that. Unless there's a need and you can't really walk a few steps on the golf course, then obviously wait around, but try to, get that golf cart moving and don't huddle up. Analyze the putt while others are putting. So with four people on a green, you should be looking at your putt and deciding how it's going to break. Is it uphill, downhill, does it go left or right? While the other three are while someone's hitting. The exception goes to the person who's putting first. Obviously, that person's got to take their time a little bit, but the other three ladies should be doing that homework ahead of time. Leave your clubs between the hole and your bag. Also, leave them on the green. I don't like when people leave their clubs in the rough. That's how clubs get lost, especially when you're riding in a cart. Occasionally, if you take the flagstick out, which you don't have to, I'll throw my clubs on the flagstick because you're always going to remember to put the flagstick back in and someone's going to pick your clubs up for you. But if you keep them on the green, somebody will see it. If you keep it in the rough, and the rough can get long here, someone might not see it till the next morning when the mower gets to it. Take one practice swing. I practice what I preach, especially with my juniors. There's no one is out there to watch you make 6, 7 practice swings. So if you want to take 6, 7 practice swings, do so while the other ladies are hitting. One practice swing is plenty. If you absolutely hate your practice swing, have a second one. But 6, 7 practice swings is way too much, and that really does slow pace of play down. Let's see. Park the cart near the tee box. We kind of talked about that. Mark scores. We talked that, and limit cell phone usage. I don't think the cell phone should if it's in a cart, it should stay in the cart. If you're on a push cart, it should stay on the push cart. You really don't need it on the putting green at all. Uh, this is a little more of a problem in ladies league and less of a problem with juniors because half the juniors don't have cell phones yet. But for the juniors that I do see carrying it, they are so slow as molasses. So we nip it in the bud and say leave it in your push car, leave it in your bag. There's no reason to have that. Some kids will use their phone for, yardage purposes, but you don't need yardage purposes when you're on the green specifically. All right, let's talk a little bit about the rules. Penalty strokes must be applied to your score. So, is my ball out of bounds? We're going to talk about that. Is my ball relieved from a penalty area? We're going to talk about that. Is my ball lost? We're going to talk about that. Am I taking relief from an unplayable lie? We're going to talk about all those things. We'll start off. I know I talk about out of bounds later and a relief from penalty area. I'm not sure if I talk about ball lost. So let's talk about ball lost. Let's say you're playing the second hole here at the Apple 9 and you just happen to hit the ball. Um, well, Apple nine's the wrong, not a good example. Well, I guess it is. Let's say you hit the ball on the second hole and you know out there, but it's kind of gone. Like you can't find it. You cannot find the ball. You technically have to go back to the tee and re-hit, or go back to your prior shot. It's a very harsh rule. So you have to make sure that you're keeping an eye on the ball. A lot of people you should be watching everybody else's shot, especially off the tee when you're hitting that driver to make sure you can find it. But if the ball is lost, you're actually supposed to go back to where you hit the ball from. When the ball's out of bounds, when it's in a penalty area, it's a little different. But if it's completely lost and it's not a penalty area, you're supposed to go back. Uh, am I taking relief from an unplayable lie? What is an unplayable lie? What does that mean? Well, let's just say that the ball is right behind a bush and you really can't make the swing or it's in the middle of a bush. There are rules that can help you retrieve that ball and make it a playable shot. There's penalty for that though. So if you're in the middle of a bush, but it's two club lengths will get you out of the bush and into the grass, you can take the ball out of the bush. You just have to move it two club lengths and you have to add an extra stroke to your score. So if you hit the first shot in the bush, you would remove it from the bush with your second shot, and then you'd hit the third shot from the grassy area. We'll talk about penalty areas versus out of bounds in a couple slides from now. And the players in the group are responsible to keep the others in the group honest, not the pro shop. Okay, this is important. So let's just say you're playing with a woman and you know that she hit the ball out of bounds. And then when you did the scoring, you go around and say, okay, what everybody make? And she says she made par. It's not up to me in the pro shop to change that score. It's not up to Chris or any of the girls working behind the counter. It's up to you. You're protecting the entire field. So you'd have to say, listen, Catherine, I know you wrote yourself down for a three, but I'm pretty sure you hit the ball out of bounds. Did you forget you had to hit another ball? And Catherine will be like, oh yeah, I forgot I had hit that shot. Put me down for a five. Okay, so it's on you to protect the field, not us to protect the field, because you're the ones out there. Whenever I play in a golf tournament, we have to protect the field. I have some really good friends that we play with in the Connecticut section tour, and sometimes it's hard to say it. Be like, listen, I don't think you made a three. I think you made four. And we have to bring it up. Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes maybe you added wrong, but it has to happen. You have to protect the field. So I know it can be a little uncomfortable, but it could be the difference between winning and losing. Lost ball, provisional ball. So I talked about how if you hit a ball and you think it's lost, you could go up there and look for it and look for 3 minutes. But if you can't find it, you have to go back. You have to go back to the original spot. Provisional ball, what that does is you're going to hit a second ball from the tee. So if you hit your second ball from the tee, and let's just say the second ball goes right down the middle of the fairway, and you do not find the first ball, you can play the provisional. But now you're hitting your fourth shot from the middle of the fairway. You don't really want to play the provisional. If you find the original ball, you must play it, and you just put the provisional in your pocket. That's what a provisional ball is. And let's limit the search for the ball to 3 minutes, just like it is on the LPGA and PGA tours. Pace of play. It's everyone's duty to keep up with the game in front and not just ahead of the game behind. People always turn around and they're worried about what's behind them. The truth is, you should be worried about what's in front of you. If you're keeping up with the group in front of you and you can't hit because you'll hit them, your pace of play is as good as it could possibly be. And that's my goal. That's my goal for all students. Let's just keep up with the group in front. Sometimes that's going to be hard to do if you're a foursome and the group in front of you is a twosome, but it should be a goal. Let's still try to keep up with that group in front of you. Players should be ready to play as soon as it is their turn to play, as we talked about earlier. We talked about where you should leave your bags and carts and keeping it closer to the next tee as opposed to the tee prior. People should leave the green immediately. Uh, and then I put personal email from Lee. So we do get complaints about certain individuals. I will try to nicely write a nice email to the group, the entire group. And then if I have to write an email to one person in particular, I will. Try not to be that person. Uh, Pace of play is not something that you have to have athletic prowess to achieve. Pace of play is all about paying attention and trying to just do the right thing from etiquette. Care for the course. Before leaving a bunker, you should carefully fill up and smooth over all the holes and footprints made by them and anyone in any nearby made by others using the rakes that surround the area. If everybody rakes up their footprints and rakes up their ball marks, the bunkers will be perfect. I know they're not perfect. I know late in the afternoon they're definitely not perfect. There's nothing worse though than seeing your golf ball in a footprint. It's impossible to hit out of a footprint. So do your job and make sure that if you do go in a bunker that you're acting like this young lady on the right there, and we're raking that bunker clean. Repair for divots. So hole two and hole nine specifically here at the Apple Nine, uh, it can get a little soggy on those holes, and it's very easy to take a divot out like you see there in the picture on the left. Let's make sure that we are filling our divots and basically replacing them with the old divot. Uh, if you replace it, especially in the spring and the fall, it has a really good chance of growing back and adhering again. In the summer, it might not. It might dry out too fast. But in the spring and the fall specifically, let's try to really make sure that we're filling those divots with the old divot. You'll see ball mark. There's a young lady on the right fixing a ball mark. What's a ball mark? Basically, it's when the ball goes high in the air and makes that ding that you see in the bottom right portion of that picture. How do you fix that? I use a T and just pry around it. I don't lift. I push it back towards the middle. I'd be happy to show anyone who wants to learn how to do that because it's some basic etiquette that is really important. They make special tools to fix that as well, but I just use a regular T. I'll show you how to do it if you'd like. If you fix two of those every time you go on a putting green, the putting green would be outstanding. If you don't fix your ball mark, it takes 30 days for it to heal on its own. If you fix it, it takes three. So I challenge you to fix it. All right, basic rules. Out of bounds and lost ball is beyond the boundaries of the course or any part of the course so marked. That's from the rule book. It's a one-stroke penalty. Marked with white stakes, sometimes by white paint, and can be indicated on the scorecard. Not Lyman property or deemed dangerous. The range we deem dangerous, we call it out of bounds. Not Lyman property would be a good example, would be number seven. So if you hit the ball in the street, and that could happen, especially if you're a left-handed player, uh, you have two options. Number one, you can re-hit. You can re-hit from the tee, but you're hitting your third shot from the tee. The other option is you can hit your fourth shot from the area of the fairway closest to where the ball went out of bounds. So if you look at that picture on the right, you can see there's a little ribbon of fairway in the middle of the picture. And let's just say you smoked it and hit it towards the apple barrel there on the left. You could move that ball just to the left edge of that fairway and hit your fourth shot. It doesn't really make too much sense to do that on a par three, but it does make sense to do that on a par four, par five. So you'll see that being used quite a bit on the Jones course and the player course or any traditional longer golf course. But here on Apple, might not make so much sense. And if you hit the ball in the street, you could always, like I said, you could re-tee, but you're hitting your third shot, not your second shot. You also cannot drop next to the street. Out of bounds isn't a drop. Out of bounds means go back, or that in that rule I just talked about hitting your fourth shot. Did I skip one? I don't think so. Yellow stakes. Penalty area. You have three options of yellow stakes. See that guy kind of falling in there, raking up his ball. He's in a yellow stake area. Basically, you'll only see yellow stakes if you have to hit your ball over that body of water. Uh, we don't have any yellow stakes here. Um, that's a lie. From the green tees, we don't have any yellow stakes. But if you were to play the yellow tees or the orange tees, there are a couple places where you would have yellow stakes. Number two could happen. Number nine could happen. Number four, even though we marked that as red. Uh, Basically, you have to hit it over a body of water is why you'd see yellow stakes. What are the rules? You can take relief, drop from knee height, not from shoulder height anymore, knee height, no nearer to the hole. You keep the point where the ball crossed the line of the penalty area between you and the flag. It's a little confusing, especially talking to you over a Zoom call on that. But basically, you just see where the ball went into the penalty area, and then you draw a line from that spot to the hole and drop the ball straight back on that line. Uh, you can go back as far as you want. It's a one-stroke penalty. An example of this is the fifth hole on the player course. So you have to hit it over that waist area there on the fifth hole. Uh, so you would have two options there. You could drop on a straight line, like we just talked about, near the fifth fairway. Or you can utilize the drop zone. We made two drop zones available on number five and number eight, but you have to take penalty if you go into the drop zone. Also, you can't use the drop zone. It you must have a penalty shot if you're going to use the drop zone, and you can't just go into the drop zone. Fifth hole is an interesting hole. I have a special rule for the fifth hole. I'm not going to talk about it here, but basically, you have to take penalty if you're pulling it out of the penalty area. Red stakes, so it's a little different. It's a lateral penalty area. Basically, these are areas of the golf course you don't necessarily have to hit over. Uh, you don't have to hit over a body of water. You can see this gentleman. He's kind of on the side of the course. He's hitting a shot, but that's marked red because he doesn't technically have to. He hit such a bad shot. He's way off the side. You don't have to hit in over water to get to those areas. You'll see that a lot here at Apple. So technically, the right side of the first hole is red. The left side of the fourth hole, the left side of the eighth hole, the left and right side of the ninth hole are all marked red. The rules are right there, written there. You take relief with the two club lengths, no closer to the hole. That's the most popular way to take relief there. There's other ways to take relief, but 9 out of 10 times you're going to do that. And again, the third hole on Apple is another good example of that. That high grass. You don't technically need to hit it over that high grass, but a lot of balls do go into that high grass. And we consider that the penalty area, drop it two club lengths from where it entered, and then you'd hit your third shot. Just so you know, all these rules that I'm talking about, they're all listed on the official Lyman Orchards Ladies League website, which is a Golf Genius page. So you can find that through Golf Genius. I will there should be a link. If there's not a link on the website yet, I could probably put one, but it's all ready for you and accessible on Golf Genius's Lyman Ladies page. As is this, the gross scoring. So, like I had said earlier, we don't have a traditional scoring where you just count all your strokes and that's what your score is for the day. We score each hole individually. Why do we do that? Because let's just say you have a terrible, terrible first hole. It's not a round ruined. It's a bad hole. You're going to get 0 points, but your round is not completely ruined. So it protects you against just having a bad hole, and then you can still get a lot of points on the next 8 holes going forward. Gross scoring: if you make an eagle, just two under par, you get 5 points. If you make a birdie, you get 3 points. If you make a par, you get 2 points. If you get a bogey, it's 1 point, and a double bogey gets you nothing. That's for gross scoring. Net scoring would involve your handicap. I'll go back one slide. Net scoring would involve your handicap, and it's different for everyone. The max you can get on a hole is 2 strokes, though. So if you make, let's just say you're a max handicap and you happen to make a double bogey, you would actually get a par for your net score. You'd get 2 points. And that's how we reward the players who aren't as talented as the players that are talented. All right, let's talk about, I don't know why that Apple 9 logo is there, but Apple 9 course max score on the par threes is a 6, double par. Max score on the par fours is a 7. They're different than Jones Player. Jones Player goes 6, 8, and 10. On the threes, it's still 6. On the fours, it's an 8. And on the fives, it's a 10. Why the difference is the length of the golf course. The par fours on the Jones and Player course specifically are much longer than the par fours here at the Apple 9. Hence, we give you an extra shot to try to hold the ball out. Everyone's going to have a bad hole this year. If you happen to have a bad hole and you just putt for 6, pick it up for 7. Just pick it right up on those par threes. If you have to putt for 7 on the par fours, if your next shot is 8, pick it up. This is all about pace of play. You're not going to score any points on that hole, but we want to keep the game moving. Prizes, we talked a little bit about prizes earlier. The social division just pays out net prizes with closest to the pin. That is combined with competitive. And the competitive division pays out gross and net prizes and also pays out the closest to the pin. If a golfer wins prize money, it can be distributed in Pro Shop credit. What can you use it for? Uh, you can use for merchandise. You can use it for range balls. The most popular thing that people use it for here, which is unlike every other golf course that I've ever seen, is Lyman Orchards encourages you to use it also for instruction. So if you wanted to take a lesson with Sarah Proper or Jason Goblick, and you have some money, but you really, really want to work on short game, you can utilize that credit and put it towards a lesson with one of our coaches. You can put it towards one of our clinic programs. We have the Golf for Women 301 program, which brings you on the golf course here at Apple, the 401 program, which brings you on the course at Jones and or Player. So you can use it for that. It can't be used for greens fees. It can't be used for cart fees. It can't be used for season pass, and it cannot be used for gift certificates. And the credit must be utilized by the end of the calendar year. You'll get a few emails from me to remind you to kindly utilize that money. Okay, rules to making a tee time. You have the ability to sign up 2 weeks in advance at 7 a.m. in Golf Genius on Monday for every day in the week, with the exception of this week, which is going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, because of this meeting falling when it fell. So Tuesday AM, Tuesday PM, Wednesday, and Thursday will all open up at the same time. We did this last year. We did this, and I think it worked because I didn't hear any constructive criticism from anyone saying that it was impossible to get a tee time. Might be hard to get the exact tee time you want, but if you're there or someone in your group is on the computer at 7 a.m., you should be able to get one of the times on at least one of the days that you really want. This is preventing the ladies who are playing every day to scoop up every really popular tee time. Those are like the 9 a.m.s on Tuesday, the 5:15 p.m.s on Tuesday and Thursday. It's slowed that down a little bit. If we have to change it again in the future for 2027, I will. I will monitor this. I hope it's not an issue. I hope we don't have to go to a lottery system, which could be very confusing. But if we absolutely have to, I will look into it. You have the ability to cancel your tee time up to 7 in the morning, the calendar day of play. I changed this.
Okay.
So if you know you can't come, but we'll allow you to call to cancel by 7 in the morning online. After that, we ask you to call. There's a variety of reasons why we want you to call. So please do call. Please don't no call, no show. It's devastating to the ladies you're playing with. Some people are waiting around, be like, did everybody not show? Uh, a lot of ladies are might not want to play if the weather is a little bit inclement. Please call and cancel. If you don't want to play in the rain, we're not forcing you to, but I am out of respect for the other ladies who might want to play. They're waiting for you on the first tee. So if they know that you're not coming, they're going to go. Do not sign friends up for times they can't make it to. The friends will be held accountable. So if someone it has Catherine in her group and signs her up, but Catherine's not coming, she's got to work. I'm going to go to Catherine eventually if I see that name more than once, twice. Like, Catherine, why do you keep no calling, no showing? And she's going to have to tell me that one of her girlfriends keeps putting her in. And then someone else, that's going to cause an issue. Usually that happens on the most popular times. So please don't sign people up who aren't going to show up. I know it's a little difficult, but if you find out you signed someone up and be like, oh, she's not coming because she's on vacation that week, kindly go and cancel so someone could possibly capitalize on that time. Also, leave a voicemail if necessary. When you're calling, the phone's ringing off the hook on a day like today, we might not get to it. Please do not email me or Nick or Chris, our new golf shop manager here with cancellations. The reason, I might not check it. I'm pretty good with email, but if I'm playing in a golf tournament, I turn my phone off and I'm just not going to check that to cancel your time. So if it's after 7 a.m. and you didn't get to cancel prior, please call the shop. Either shop is fine. We have access to cancel on the Jones player. Jones player can call us as well. Can cancel for us as well. So I talked a little bit about the no-shows and why is this consequence in play. I don't want to go over this too much again, but people have used fake players in the past because they really want to play in their four. They don't want to meet someone new in the league. I know everyone has their favorite four that they want to play with, and that's fine. I do too. But if one of them is not coming, maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised if Catherine Samar joins your group. She would have appreciated that last year, and she did, and she met a whole bunch of ladies because someone might have canceled, and she popped in there. And I ask you to just be fair to all the ladies in the group, in the league. All right, Golf Genius. Most of you know how to utilize our Golf Genius platform. It gets a little tricky sometimes. I know that people get logged out and they forget their passwords and things like that. Uh, Keep in mind, we utilize Golf Genius. We aren't the experts in Golf Genius. They have a little AI chat. If you have an issue, we will try our best to help you, but we might refer you to the AI chat. Their live help is actually very good as well. Don't take offense if we can't help you. I have 8 people that work my counter. 4 of them are brand new, essentially. 4 are returning. The 4 that are brand new aren't going to really be able to help you too much with Golf Genius. Uh, we might refer you to the online portal. This is the app. This is the app you should download to your phone. This is the easiest way to sign up for times. It's the easiest way to check your score. It is the way we score. So we don't have paper scorecards and turn them in. If you want to use a paper scorecard and turn it in, the girls will do it uh, if they have time to do it. It might get set aside. We encourage you to try to score, someone in the group to try to score, but we will try to do it. This is how you would create a password. I think it said 4 characters. I think that 4 characters is 8 characters now, but they're going to ask you for a permanent password. They're going to talk about tea time registration. All of this information you see here is on the Lyman Orchards Ladies website. And that's what the tee sheet will eventually look like. There is the website. I know it's kind of clunky to see that, but it's kind of easy to remember. Lyman Ladies League 2026.golfgenius.com. If you type that in, you're going to see the Lyman Orchards Ladies website. It has all the information on scoring. You can sign up for your times there. You might even be able to track your own stats there and your money there through Golf Genius, which is the unofficial way to track your money, but still better than nothing. The GGID is LOLL 2026, Lyman Orchards Ladies League 2026. If you're in the Monday League, all you do is add an M after the 2026, and that brings you to a totally different website that's just for the Monday only league. And that's what I just talked about there, weekly signups, tea times, the calendar, the results, and the rules and the PDFs that go along with it. Team Lyman. So a lot of familiar faces will be back here at Team Lyman. I wanted you to kind of know them. Our teaching professionals will be led by women's lead Sarah Proper, LPG apprentice, entering her 3rd year. She's done an absolutely outstanding program, just a tremendous personality. If you're looking to get a lesson specifically from one of the 3 young ladies on our team, she is the one who's here full time. She has the most availability, she'd be my number one option to go to. John Wilson returns. He has been here since the place opened, 2012. So what's that mean? 15th year? Wow. 15th year here at Lyman Orchards. Absolutely outstanding professional. One of the more limited professionals because he is the head coach of Wesleyan boys and girls team. So if you're looking for a lesson prior to May 15th, it's going to be very difficult to get one with John. He will have time May 15th till middle of August. And after that, he gets limited again due to his responsibilities with Wesleyan University. Jason Goblick, absolutely outstanding professional, the best player on our staff. He's been senior player of the year 2 of the past 3 years. He has a lot of availability. Teaches a lot of the golf for women classes. He teaches a PGA Junior League team as well. A lot of availability there. Myself, limited availability due to my responsibilities with managing the property, but I am available for lessons as well. Coach Alex Cavallari is the teacher of the year in the state of Connecticut, 2025. This Don't let his age fool you. He's absolutely outstanding in most everything he does. And he is the leader of our 17U PGA Junior League program, which went to the national championship. We went last year to New Mexico. It was absolutely outstanding. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully, the team can bring us back there. My wife is dying to go back. So, a lot of pressure on Coach Alex there. Uh, Coach Brian Mooney returns for his third season here. He's a lot like Jason Goblick. He has a little more time available than a couple of the other coaches. He's full-time coach here. He has responsibilities with ladies golf, men's golf, and junior golf, but he's here 6 days a week. Coach Derek Snetro will be a level 3 associate going into this year. He proud new father, just had a baby boy this past February with his wife. So you can strike some conversation up there with him. And he's returning for his second year here. Andrea Frappier, she's been here quite a long time. She was full time here, basically the right hand lady to Marissa Coulacrow, who many of you know. But Andrea landed herself the head coach position at Trinity College 4 years ago and has been there since. Andrew will be here about May 15th to August 15th again, same time frame as John Wilson, for teaching clinics on Mondays and Wednesdays, and she'll be here on Sundays as well. So if any of those 3 days work for you, she will be there those 3 days. Let's dive into the green names there. They're the two newbies to our program. Isabella Fleury is an LPGA teaching intern. She's in college right now at Nichols, where she's the captain of her golf team. She's absolutely outstanding young lady. I can't wait to bring her on. She's hungry to start working, but right now she's playing for Nichols, and we're happy for her. But she'll be around about May 15th again when her college season ends. Montavious White's a PGA teaching intern. He just got his PGA. He is joining us from the Maryland area. He's coming up the coast, wants to try a new place. He'll be available as well. He'll be mostly focusing on junior golf, but he'll have some availability there to work with, play with the pros and things of that nature as well. And he'll be joining us about June 1st for Montavious. Chris Milrick, our golf shop manager, I'll talk about him a little bit later. He's replacing Skylar Siebert, who's gone on to work in the Bronx for the Attorney General of New York, if I'm not mistaken. So she's doing bigger and better things, and Chris is going to fill her shoes till he enters law school in the fall. Nick Del Vecchio is your head pro at the Jones and Player course. He's your go-to guy at Jones and Player with any issues that you may have. He's your guy if you want to go and get a full membership at Lyman Orchards or anything involving the Jones Player course. Jason Beefort's our general manager. He's been here ever since I've been here. He's a tremendous supporter of everything we do here at Apple 9 and our instructional program. If you ever go up to see Jason, give him a pat on the back. There aren't better general managers out there. He wears all the hats and he wears them well. Sometimes he looks very stressed out, but he has the biggest heart. I know you've heard that from Mercer Cooler Crow in the past. Absolutely outstanding, and we're lucky to have him. And we're also lucky to have our director of grounds. He's been here 7 years, Darren Wondolowski. He has so much on his plate on a daily basis. He's got 50 greens to cut. He's got 45 holes to maintain, 2 practice areas, 2 ranges with a kind of a limited staff. He does an absolutely outstanding job. I know we all want more and more and more, but what he delivers to us on a daily basis here at Lion Orchards is tremendous. And kudos to him. And if you ever see him driving around, he's the one driving with the lead foot in the 40-mile-an-hour cart. Programs that are geared towards you. So I know this is not league stuff, but it's about what else we offer here, especially for those new ladies. Golfer Women 301 and 401 is on course. I mentioned this earlier. 301 is specifically at the Apple 9. 401 is specifically on Jones and Player. We're going to bring you on the golf course for an hour and 15 minutes this year, not an hour. We lengthened it. We made a couple changes to the program. We're going to let you hit difficult shots. We're going to let you some routine shots. It's all about learning how to hit certain shots on the golf course that you can't replicate here at the practice facility. My favorite shot is to practice is a fairway bunker shot, and you're just not going to practice that at the putting green and the chipping green, but you can practice it on the golf course with our coaches. Play with the PGA LPGA Pro. You play 9 holes with the pro. 3 players will play with the pro. It's offered on Jones, Player, and Apple. A lot of ladies like to get together, a few of them, and sign up together. We have some public offerings that you'll find on the website. If you write to me and you want to set up a private, uh, we can set it up at the time frame that works for you and the time frame of the coach you choose. All of our coaches will be able to do this. So you feel free to write to me and I'll set up a private one for you. Super Speed Golf is a program that we just teaches you how to swing faster and hit the ball farther. Doesn't teach you how to hit it straight, doesn't teach you how to hit it in the air, teaches your body how to swing faster. I've seen a lot of good results. I use it every winter before I go on my winter golf trip, and I got to start working on it again if I got to make time to do that. But it really does help you hit swing faster. Spring and summer tune-up, I mentioned that because it's not too late to sign up for spring tune-up. It's a 3-week offering that starts up next week. We offer these classes on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So some of them have filled up, but we do have the ability to make a couple of them bigger. Feel free to go to our website and sign up for spring tune-up. We'll also offer that in the summer and maybe even the fall, as long as we don't get many rainouts early in the fall. And then private instruction. I mean, you got 8 great pros here. Uh, Absolutely outstanding personalities to go with them. They know the game. You don't need to go anywhere else to get a private lesson. I know some of you might be members at other clubs, and I do respect that, but I look at our staff that we're a special crew here. They are good, and they want to teach you, and they want to make you better. Here's our new handsome golf shop manager here at the Apple 9, Christopher Milrick. He's your guy to go to for special orders when it comes to clothing, for shoe orders. He's your special events coordinator. From the past, we'd write to Skylar to say, hey, I want to play with these 3 ladies for Putt for Pink. I want to write to these 3 ladies for Women's Golf Day. You'll write to Chris. His email address is listed there. See Milrick at lymangolf.com. I've known Chris for half of his life. I started working with Chris as a student when he was 10, boy, more than half of his life. And he's grown from a wonderful young boy to a tremendous young man. And he is the most polite person maybe we have here on our property. So if you see Chris in his red mane there, say hello. And he'll be here all season for you, specifically here at the Apple 9. Special events. We're nearing the end here. Special events. So we have 2 major events each year. Each year we get 200 ladies every single time to sign up for it. And I thank you for that because the more ladies that come, the more special it is. The first one is Tuesday, June 2nd. It's part of Women's Golf Week nationally. We always try to have it on that Tuesday. We offer an AM shotgun and a PM shotgun. Usually it's a 10 o'clock and a 5:30. It's a 9-hole event. It's followed by a banquet with open bar. Uh, we have a giant raffle that's held those days too. It's 2 of my favorite days of the year because I get out of my office and I get to go hang out outside at the Jones and Player course. It's absolutely outstanding. We'll contact Chris with the pairings via email after all the ladies sign up in your group, and you can sign up for that. I'll put that in my weekly email to you, but you can also sign up for it by going to our Lyman website, go to Golf Center, and click on events. You'll also see other events that we're offering throughout the course of the year, like night golf, like TaylorMade and Callaway custom fitting days. Junior events are also listed there. So feel free to visit our website, go to Golf Center, and then events. The second of 3 big events that we have is Putt for Pink. It will be on a Monday this year, Monday, October 5th. It's a 4 o'clock shotgun. Circle that date. It's also followed by a raffle and a banquet. It's run very similarly to Women's Golf Day, except it has a little more personal significance to a lot of ladies out there. Kim Carew, who has spoken at every single women's Putt for Pink event that we've had here, always makes me emotional with her stories as a survivor. And it's an event that we do welcome men to join us to. So if you have a loved one who's not a lady, we invite you to play in that as well. There is no true competition that day other than closest to the pin. But we invite you, the men in your lives, to join us for that day as well. Finally, Ladies League closing day banquet. There is a tentative date of Tuesday, October 13th, 6 p.m. start. There'll be raffles, there'll be prizes, there'll be a lot of camaraderie. If you've ever gone to this in the past, it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to close out the year. I think last year we had 175 ladies under the tent there, as you can see in that picture. That might not be as fancy as you see there because that's set up for a wedding, but it's always a great time to end the year and put a bow on over 130 events that we host. Here's the contact information for us. JDipolina at LymanGolf.com, which is you'll get a lot of correspondence from me throughout the year. Once a week, I try to send out that weekly newsletter. And then Christopher Milrick, who I mentioned earlier, C. Milrick at LymanGolf.com. I'll try to copy him into the email so you have his email. But as I said again, he's your go-to for those special events and special orders. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to take a look at all of the questions that might have popped up on the board and try to answer them one by one. Okay, so I answered one of them before we started. How is my handicap determined? I'm a new golfer. Great question. You're determined by the scores you put in. You will need 5 9-hole scores in order to set up a true handicap. So my challenge to you is you don't have to play 5 weeks of our league in order to get a handicap. You need to play 5 rounds of 9. So let's just say you played today here at the Apple 9. Post your score. Let's say you shot 50, whatever. Put your score in through the golf through gin.com, GHIN.com. It's a separate app, but that's how you would do it. Of course, we'll show you how to do that here, but you can also go online. There's tutorials online on how to enter your score through gin.com. You can also do that if you download the GHIN app. And as soon as your fifth score comes in, you're going to get a handicap. Every week, I update the system so that it tells me if everybody has gone from what they call NH, no handicap, to a number. And once you get a number, you're going to be you can qualify for net scores. Everybody who played in the league last year is qualifying for net scores right out of the gate. Can you please share the PowerPoint presentation with us? Yes, I've already done it actually. If you go to that website that I mentioned earlier, let me see what it was. I wrote it down here. Lyman Ladies. Let me see. Write this down. Where is it? I don't want to give you the wrong one. Lyman Ladies League 2026 dot golfgenius.com. And then for the Mondays, you add the M after the 2026. If you go to that, you'll
Can you
see
please
it's
repeat that? Sorry.
sure. Lyman Ladies League 2026 dot golfgenius.com. If you go to that, you'll see my PowerPoint presentation along with a couple of other slides that I entered specifically if you have with scoring. Um, it's all listed there.
Also, can you please describe what happens with the 5 weeks of scores for the handicap? Is there an average or just how is, I really don't know anything about handicap. So I
Right.
was just,
It's an algorithm that is worked by the USGA, the United States Golf Association, and it's going to give you, it's going to base your handicap on your, so basically, it's really hard to give you an exact answer that if you shot 50 every time, you'd be a 15 handicap, but it's got a very complex algorithm that's going to figure that out for you. It doesn't take into account every bad score you make. it takes into account every good score. So people that are playing well, their handicaps will go down quicker. But if you have, let's just say you're in a rut and you played five bad scores in a row after developing a handicap, your handicap might not go up as fast as it could come down. Again, it's there to protect the field and make it as fair for all the ladies as possible. I could bore everybody on the call and talk a lot more about it, but feel free to, do a little bit of, if you go on YouTube and you type in these questions you're asking, there might be a cute video that'll explain the process a lot better than the way I'm doing it.
So does the handicap then evolve every week based on your scores?
It can. It can. It generally, unless if you it will at the beginning for you specifically because you don't have any scores, but like I see Deb Cole on the call, she probably has a million scores in from last year because she plays a lot of golf. If she goes out there and plays an average round of golf tomorrow, her handicap might not move. Yours probably will because you only will have five scores, so it'll fluctuate a little more aggressively.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Can you please explain the slide where the ball was hit out of bounds in the road on hole 7 and why you said the fourth shot was mentioned and why not the second or third? So it's about pace of play. In fact, I took this out of one of the ladies in the league suggested that I add this to the league this year. Again, a lot of the suggestions that I put on this PowerPoint are directly from the ladies in the league. It's about pace of play. So if you hit the ball in the street on number 7 and you didn't notice it was in the street, like, oh my gosh, it's 1 foot in the street. The rule says you can't drop it. It's out of bounds. So rather than to say, hey, go all the way back to the tee and hit your third shot, you can go to the fairway that's closest to you right there and drop and hit your fourth. It just is about saving time on the golf course. This is a rule that's used a lot in men's leagues across the country. I never did it because I'm here at Apple all the time, and the course is shorter, and these opportunities don't seem to present themselves that much. But I know that they present themselves more on the Jones and Player course. That's why we instituted this opportunity, basically for pace of play, so you don't have to walk 100 yards, 150, 200 yards back. Can we tee off on number 2 and number 9 when the group ahead of us is still on the green? Please. So I say please with a caveat. Number 2 is 170 yards from the green tee to the green. If you can hit it 170 yards, you shouldn't hit. If you can hit it 150 yards, you can hit. So that's the caveat. You kind of have to know how far you hit it. We do want you to hit most people I'd say there's a good chunk of ladies that won't be able to hit on 2 because they could reach the green, but most of the ladies I think can hit. So you kind of have to know what you can do from off the tee. Number 9, I'd say most all, if not all of you can hit. As soon as those ladies start walking from the fairway to the green, 9 plays 210 yards from the green tees. That's a pretty good poke. So I would say that you could definitely hit. That's a great question because sometimes people wait for that green to clear. It's not necessary. Also, let's say you're in a group of 4, and let's just say I happen to be in one of those groups. And I know that I can reach the green from 170 yards, but the 3 ladies in my group, they can't. Those 3 ladies should hit first. So if they can only hit it 150, let them hit first. That'll save a lot of time. And then that 4th player can hit as soon as the green clears safely without risking injury to anyone on the green.
John,
Yes,
can I say something?
sure.
That was like a good point. So I played there for 3 years. This year we're going up to competitive and maybe coming down to the social every now and then. But when you talk about pace of play, I can't tell you, I mean, holding up the pace of play so many times is when women do that. Like they could be teeing off and they're waiting for people to get off the green. I see it on the
Hmm.
6th hole too. Wait, is it
Yep.
this? Yeah, the 6th hole.
6 and 8 could happen.
Yeah, and they constantly wait and they could be we're all backed up. And then when they go to tee off, when they wait for the people to get off the green, they're not even coming close to the green, which is fine, but they should have gone, that holds up. I think that more than anything holds up the pace of play.
I
You
think
know,
that
like
that's a great point. At 6 and 8, I failed to mention those, but those are two holes that, I'd say 2/3 of the ladies in the league might be able to reach, but 1/3 might not be able to. If you're part of that 1/3, you should hit first and go ahead and hit. Catherine, when she was starting, when we were doing our lessons, she couldn't reach the fourth. She could not reach the fourth, and I said, "Let's just hit it down the right side. It'll be a nice, safe shot." And she asked me, she goes, "Can I hit even though they're on the green?" And I said, "You can because we're not even aiming anywhere there near the green. We're aiming to the right of the green." So she would hit. It's about good etiquette. And Stephanie, I really think that's a great point that you made on 6 and 8. And ladies, don't be afraid to just encourage people nicely. Be like, "How far can you hit the ball?" And if they say they can hit it 100 yards, then only 100 yards with their driver, then they should be hitting on 2, 6, 8, and 9 well before the green clears. Specifically those holes. I think 1, 5, 7, 3, 4 is one of those ones that could go either
yeah.
way, but the other ones are short enough to wait, I'm assuming. All right, let's see. I have a question from Susan. What if green apples are moved during the season or are placed in a different spot? And what it says on the golf scorecard, do we play from where they are that day to be fair for all? So that's always my fault because I move them up for the junior leagues. And then I forget to move them back because we get done at like 8 o'clock at night. And then the ladies roll out there at 7:30 on Tuesday and they see that we've moved them up specifically on holes number 4, 6, and 8. If that happens, if the first group of the day is out there and sees it and moves it back for me, I'll give you a big hug. That would be huge for me. Or if you see it, call the shop immediately, move it on number 4, because 4 is where it would happen. Play it from where you traditionally should play it from. But if you're in the 9 o'clock group and nobody's moved it, you should just play from where the greens are that day. It will play a lot shorter. It'll be a little bit more of a sand wedge, pitching wedge, as opposed to a longer iron or hybrid. But you should play from where the greens are. So my challenge is if you're the first group, move it. If you're not the first group, and you'll know if you're not the first group, play it where it is. Call the pro shop too, if you're that first group. Seems last year many last minute cancellations. Can we get an email a golfer in the same slot cancels? I don't think we have the capability of our system of doing that, unfortunately. Uh, the only thing I could say is if you are playing at 5:30 on Tuesday afternoon and it's 3 o'clock, call the pro shop. We can move you up. There's going to be someone cancel because they're not feeling well. They have a child home from school and they can't play. Variety of reasons, especially if you're a single. If you're a twosome or a threesome or foursome, foursome is probably not going to happen. But for that single, if you're looking to move up in your day, you can do that. Unfortunately, the system doesn't provide an email every time someone does cancel. What happens if you sign up for a tee time and no one else signs up for that time? Good question, Lori. Sometimes that does happen on a day where weather is inclement. Also, it happens if I put too many times on the board, which doesn't really happen too much anymore because this league is so healthy. Uh, we're going to try to put you with a different group. Sometimes we'll even see that ahead of time. For instance, if it looked like a rainy day and half the ladies in the league cancel, and I see that there's a single floating out there at 4 o'clock, and then a threesome at 4:10, I might just drag you from 4 to 4:10 and not even tell you, just so that you have a group to play with. We might be surprised when you get here, but we're trying to make groups out there. We're not trying to send singles out there. Not to mention, you really shouldn't be turning your score in if you're playing as a single. It's a little bit of a gray area, but that's how we usually handle it. Is there an easier way to pull up golfers versus scrolling? Can we start to type golfer name instead? Jackie, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I think she's talking about on Golf Genius. Do you know
Yeah,
how we have to do that, right, Jackie?
yes, John, exactly. Like I have a couple of women with W's and Z's, and when you're
Mhm.
scrolling through A's, I have had fat fingers and picked some other person that didn't want to be in my group.
It's happened from time to time. I know that. You guys are the geniuses when it comes to the forward-facing side of the app. I'm just a rookie on that side of the app. So I'll take this note down and I will write to Golf Genius and see why. I know what you're saying. So basically, when you're typing in your state and you don't want to type, the first letter you type in is C and California pops up. You want to avoid the A's, the B's, and all the other letters, right? You want to see only the C's, correct? That's where you're going with
Oh,
that?
yeah, that would be incredible to be able to just go to the S's and hit SM for Smith. That would be, yes, fantastic.
So what I'll do is I'll write to them. That's big time coding by the people at Golf Genius, but I put the suggestion in. And maybe I don't think it's going to work for week one. Might not work all year, but I will put the suggestion in to the people at Golf Genius on that.
Is
Hey,
that when
John,
you're trying to sign folks up?
Yes.
I
Is that
believe that's what I
But
believe
you
that's
can
what
type
she's
in their
referring to.
name. You can type in either first name or last name.
And does it prompt? I
Yes.
know it prompts on our side. Whenever I
Yeah.
type in a name,
I just
It does.
Googled it and it says that you can type in names or use the
Yes.
search feature to find players.
You
Hey,
can.
John, it's Rita.
And then, and sign in is done by the GGID.
Rita, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what I've noticed is that when I try it on my phone, you have to scroll through the whole list of names, but when I do it on my iPad, you can enter a name. So I don't know why it's different from the iPad to the phone, but I would suggest trying to use an iPad if you have one.
I will see if that can get changed by the people at Golf Genius. That's good. That's a good suggestion. So it works on the computer. I know it works on the computer because we use it on the computer. I just type in a few characters and it pops up the person's name. Uh, it works on an iPad, but not on the phone. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Perfect. All right, let's see. Where am I on my list here? Going in. It's an easy way. Okay, scrolling down. What is the GGID and how is it used in Golf Genius? I would tell you to don't worry about the GGID. The GGID is basically an ID that's used for people who want to see what's going on in our league. You have access to the league through your sign in, through your email address and password. What you have the ability to do that the people with the GGID don't have the ability to do is enter scores. So if you type in the GGID, and you try to enter scores, you're gonna be like, I can't enter scores. You need to sign in with your credentials and you'll be able to enter scores. I'll tell you an example. I run a winter golf trip every single year, and there's gentlemen who come on my trip who didn't make it this year, but they wanted to see who was going to win the cup. So I gave them the GGID so they could follow along and be like, oh, look, Matt's leading, Dustin's in second, Joe is in third, but they couldn't enter scores. So it's basically just a viewer as opposed to you typing in your credentials. You can actively change the scores, which obviously we encourage you to do during the round and at the conclusion of your round. When will Golf Genius open for next week? Great question, Joan. The answer is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. I held it off for this meeting so people could get some questions answered. So you'll see it's going to be aggressive. It's going to be most aggressive tomorrow because usually a week's worth of times, meaning Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday, open up. You're going to have that for 2 weeks, week one and week two tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot to sign up for tomorrow. It opens at 7. No one's going to be in the pro shop till 7:30, just so you know. So if you have any questions, the phone's going to ring, and she's kind of a rookie behind the counter at 7:30 tomorrow morning. I'll get here as soon as I can, but it's going to open and pick the date and time that you want and go from there. But 7 o'clock, but generally it's Monday at 7 a.m. Remember when I used to do it at midnight? I didn't even know that it was going on. I didn't know there was all this craziness going on at midnight. Thank you for that's a suggestion I got from the ladies to change it to 7. The GGID is not working in the Lyman. Don't worry about it. I really don't think you need to use the GGID. I'm not sure whether I entered my scores correctly last year in Golf Genius. I specified that I played from orange tees on Apple and entered my real score, not Stableford. Would I still need to tell you about my orange tees? Should I have computed my Stableford score instead? It's a good question, Ginger. Basically, when you go out there and play, I want you to just record your score. So let's say you play the first hole, you knock it on the green in two putt, you write down three. On the second hole, you make a birdie. You write down three. On the third hole, you play it. You didn't have such a good hole. You make a five. You write down five. We will do all the scoring on the back. And I push one button. It's electronically scored and it's done. You can kind of see your score as you enter it, but it's all done in the background. We just want you to enter your score, and the computer will figure out what your Stableford score is. Uh, yeah, you should tell me that you're going to play for the Orange Tees because you'll be rewarded with, especially from a net standpoint. From a gross standpoint, you're honestly doing yourself a disservice because it can be harder to win gross. There's no calculation done there, but if you like to take the challenge, and I don't blame you, sometimes it's fun to play those deeper tees. You can play the orange or the yellow or the green. Can you please demonstrate a Golf Genius sign up for us? Some of us have never used the app, so we're not familiar with it. I kind of went through it a little reasonably fast in my presentation. Uh, I would tell you to go, rather than do it on the call, I would tell you to go to YouTube and type those in. And they will show you how to do it. They have a million tutorials about how to use Golf Genius for many different things. If you want, I'd be happy to show you in person here on your phone how to do it. Just come on in when we're here, and I'd be able to help you out there. But it is illustrated in that PowerPoint presentation step by step that I showed you that I have on the website already. Week 9 is missing. Will there be dates to sign up? Yes, I haven't. There's 130 dates to put in. I haven't gotten to all of them because it's very meticulous how it's put in. I really can't bid for it to make a mistake, so I take my time. The next rainy day that we have is when I'm going to be putting in all those. Remember, you can't sign up for week 9 right now anyway. You can only sign up for week 1 and 2. This coming Monday, you'll be able to sign up for week 3. So I have a little bit of time to put those in. There are a couple dates on the calendar where you will not see a time. Uh, you will not see one Tuesday night when it comes to Women's Golf Day because we're running the special event. There is no official league date on Tuesday night. There'll be no Monday league, the day of Putt for Pink. There is no league on Memorial Day. I think the 4th of July falls on a Saturday, so it's not a problem. If Juneteenth is on one of those days, we will still have league on Juneteenth. I don't know what day of the week that is. Uh, let's see what else. I think Labor Day. Labor Day, there's nothing on that Monday. What if I have not received an email for getting a gin handicap since I am new? I'm gonna write your name down. You should have gotten one. Anna Juskow. All right. You should have gotten one to the email you signed up for league with when you signed up through your schedule, when you paid that 195. I will look into that after the meeting today. You could also simply download the Golf Genius app, sign up with the credential being your email address. You're gonna have to set your password, uh, and you might be able to access everything through that. I'm pretty sure I added everybody, but I might have missed one. But I wrote your name down to make sure, Anna. I have a full year Jones player membership. Do I still pay for weekly golf fees in the league? You do not. You don't pay at Apple. You don't pay at Jones Player. We do ask you to come to the pro shop and come in though, just to say you're here. They're going to give you a slip at Jones and Player. It's going to say $0 owed. But we do ask you to come in, just like you go to a private country club. You don't just walk to the first tee. You go to the starter or the pro shop and say, "Hey, I'm John DePolina. I'm here to play." Perfect, John. Thank you for stopping in. Here's your ticket. So we do ask you to still check in. Do I sign in on Golf Genius to sign up for play? You do. That's how you would sign up each and every week to play in each and every event. You could also call the pro shop and we would happily put you in a group. But I think everyone likes to do it from the comfort of their own homes and comfort of their own phones. But, sometimes people will come in after their round of golf and say, what's available next week?
Okay, I'm in there, but nothing, I'm in Golf Genius
Well,
And
you won't see anything till tomorrow at 7.
okay, so I really can't, if I wanted to play tomorrow, I sign up from tomorrow on. I have to wait until tomorrow morning. Then
Yeah,
I'll
so
see.
league play will start on the 7th, but you can
Okay.
start signing up for the 7th tomorrow morning. If
Okay.
you want to
All
play
right.
golf tomorrow just for fun, you have to make a traditional tee time by calling the pro shop or going to lymangolf.com and booking a tee time.
Okay. I thought I was losing it. Okay.
No, no
Thank you.
worries. Yep, my pleasure. Is there a max number of hits we should take before we pick up the ball or we get to hit to in the hole? Good question. At Apple 9, the max on our par 3 holes is double par 6. On the par 4 holes, which are number 2 and number 7, the max is 7. On the Jones and Player course, the par 3 holes are all 6. The par 4s are all 8. And the par
Okay.
5s are all 10. So if you're putting for 10, you can pick it up. It's good. If you're chipping for 10 on the par 5, it's good. If you're on a par 3 and you're putting for 6, just pick it up. Uh, you're not going to get any points anyway, and it will improve the pace of play. I think that's something we all will have to work on here this year to encourage our playing partners, because sometimes that's how pace of play falls apart when people are, trying to put the ball in the hole, even though really they're putting for 12, 13. All right. Let's see. I am new to Lyman and signed up for Monday Social. How do I sign up for Monday mornings? I do not want to keep score. Okay, great question. So you'll sign up for Monday mornings the same way the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday ladies are. You'll have the opportunity to sign up beginning tomorrow at 7 a.m. The portal will open and you can sign up electronically through the Golf Genius app. Again, you can also call the pro shop. We can sign you up starting at 7:30 tomorrow because no one's here at 7. You can do it that way. If you don't want to keep score, that's fine. You don't have to put a score in. No problem at all. Where there's no pressure on entering scores. If you're not going to enter your scores, technically, you don't have to play by the rules either. If you want to tee it up in the middle of the fairway, but you know you're not going to turn your score in, that's fine. Just let the ladies in your group know, listen, I'm going to cheat today, but I'm not going to turn my score in. I'm here to just have fun and be social and learn the game. Just make sure you tell the ladies in your group because they will question you. Why is she teeing it up in the middle of the second fairway? But I'm okay with that. We're here to have a good time. I feel like these leagues are three pods: the social, the social who keeps score, and then the competitive. That's the one you're referring to right now, Denise, is social. I don't want to keep score. The only thing I will say is after a certain time, you still need to pick that ball up. Because if you're holding the pace of play up, it'll be inconsiderate to the people behind you. John, I did see an email that said we can move a ball that settles into a divot on the fairway. Um, that didn't come from me. Also, can we rake and replace the ball when we're in the sand? Mm. The answer to the second one is definitely yes. If it's in a footprint, I think you should be able to lift, rake in place. The first one, I'm going to have to think about that, Kim. I don't want to say yes or no on that one right now. I want to talk about that with a couple of the other golf pros, and I'll let everybody know in my weekly email. We'll just say the answer is no. You have to play it from the divot in the fairway for now, and if I change that rule, I will alert everyone via email. Women who can hit well, because the problem is, Kim, what's a divot? That's the problem. Uh, I know what a footprint looks like in a bunker. It's pretty obvious. Bunker should be cleanly raked at all times. Uh, if it's in a puddle in the middle of the fairway in the second hole, obviously there's a rule there. It's called standing water. You can move it away from the puddle. We talk about that a lot when we go on lessons on the golf course with 301. Uh, if you know that rule and you want to encourage the ladies to do that, please do so. But I'll have to think about the whole divot one. Women who can hit well should not be landing balls anywhere near the group in front of them. Uh, Correct. Especially off the tee. Uh, you'll see that specifically on number 2 and number 9 here at Apple. Just kind of know how far you can hit it. If you've ever reached the green on number 2 and number 9 with driver, You probably shouldn't be hitting uh, until the green clears, unfortunately. Okay, where am I? I clicked on the button by mistake. Let's see, where are we here? Sorry, I clicked on this improperly. Do we need to create an account on gin.com, or has it been set up for us using our email address? It's been set up with your last name and gin number. If you don't know your gin number, it was sent to you via email. But if you email me, I can also send you your gin number. So if you can't find it, I'd be happy to send it to you. But it should have been sent originally when we put you into the league. I know some of the ladies who've been in the league for a long time, you might have forgotten your gin numbers. Again, email me. I'll copy and paste it and send it right to you. There might be other ways to sign in too. I just know that gin and last name always works. Where do you get your sign-in credentials? I tried using the ones created when I signed up for the league and they did not work. When I tried signing into Golf Genius, it says there is no record. Okay, Anna, I'm going to look you up. You might have slipped through the cracks, as I stated earlier. You're welcome, Jackie. I have not received an email. Heidi has not. Heidi, what is your last name? I'll look. I might not be another Heidi in the league, but I'll look for your last name as well. Mora, when I open Golf Genius tomorrow morning and hit weekly signups, the next screen will allow me to sign up when I hit week 1 and week 2.
My
Week
last name is
1
Dripjack.
starts with a D.
DRIP as in Peter, CHAK.
Okay, I'll look that up with
And I
Anna's.
also cannot sign into Golf Genius. It says I'm not recognized.
Yep, you could be having the same issue as Anna. I will look it up and I will get back to you before the end of the night. I'm going to upload
Great.
this to YouTube and then I'll get back to you too.
Thank you.
hmm let's see here. Maura, thank you. And thank you. Any other questions, ladies, from the floor or Jay,
Yes, I have
Boucher?
one. So I
One.
found the email that was sent with the GIN account information. And it
Mhm.
references the GIN number, but it doesn't have a GIN number.
There's no 7 or 8 digit number next to your name.
No.
All right. Uh, the three ladies.
It says action required.
Sorry. I can't get in either to the Golf Genius.
Well,
Oh,
you can't sign up for times yet. So if you're looking to sign up for times, that you can't do it. If you're signing in with the wrong email address that you didn't sign up for, basically utilized to sign up for through USchedule and you paid your 195, that's another way you're not going to be able to sign in. Uh, I can look into this stuff. I can try to get a hold of all of you. Actually, after the call, after we hang up, what I'll do is I'm going to end the recording. And the people having trouble, I'll try to do it live as soon as I text my wife and tell her that go pick up my son. Um, let me do that right now.
I just hit sign in and it says no user record found. And it's got my right email and password.
Hang out on the call, Tracy. Don't hang
Okay.
up on the call. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
And see if anybody else. See, you didn't need the GIN number. You can just click register. That worked for me. Sherry Kersner. Okay. So when you click register, Sherry, did you do that through my email or did you do that through uh, gin.com? Email. Okay. So, and that email came from Golf Genius or USGA or gin? What does it say when it comes through? I'm going to guess USGA.
It says GIN
Gin.
profile at usga.org.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any other questions? The four ladies I mentioned, Anna, Heidi, Miss Boucher, and Tracy hang out. Any other questions?
Do you mind
All
if
right.
I watch what you're going to do as well?
Sure, absolutely.
I
Ladies,
just have one question.
go for it.
Sorry.
Yep. No worries.
I was able to get into the Golf Genius, but I don't have a GIN number. I used your email to get in. I used my email and I changed the password, but I have not received an email with a GIN number.
Well,
I just emailed you
I'm
that.
gonna fire Christopher because he's supposed to send this. It sounds like he didn't push the one button but
Same, yeah.
Tammy,
I have the same thing. I was able to create my account and log in, but no GIN number.
okay. Let me see here. Tammy, last name is Catalano. Who was the other person said they don't have a GIN number that just spoke
Nance
up?
Ray, Nance Ray.
Nance Ray. So
Um,
6.
I'm gonna guess if I can't get in, I might not have a GIN number either.
Well, you have a GIN number from last year for sure, Gail. I
Yeah,
know
I
that.
should. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Uh,
um,
I'm gonna look all this stuff up live, so we can take care of those issues. If you're having trouble, uh, feel free to stay on this call. I'm gonna end the recording in a second, and I'll try to work live to try to figure it all out. Let me see if there are any other questions. We are going to end the call. Ladies, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining us here. And we look forward to starting. Everything starts tomorrow, technically, with signups. And look forward to seeing all of you. Hopefully, it's a nice day like this next Tuesday. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
All right.
Thank you.